So can you shed any insight on the naming process of these buggies? I mean, we're seeing some crazy names coming out of the gates here.
I love Shad through when they said it. If you look at Fringe, they got Banyan, they got bees across the board. Bees everywhere. Bristol, Banyan, all those.
Now, is it the Seinfeld reference to Jerry's nemesis?
I don't know. We'd have to ask some of those Fringe.
Or is it the tree? It's probably the tree.
And they're off.
Okay. Fringe is already kind of getting a pretty strong push. They're staying on the inside of their lane, getting more towards the middle, and not pulling out that far ahead of the PhiKap buggy, but getting ready to make the transition, and they will get to the transition point with a time of about 2:17.
About 17 seconds. Nice hole one.
So about a second slower than the top elite teams, or the other elite teams, but very strong push off the hill, too. That was a great shove.
Nice shove.
He almost had like a jump shove technique, which I haven't seen much from other teams, but you could just see the energy and momentum go into the buggy, and we'll see if that shove helps it out.
And again, this is not a heat race. This is a race against the clock. PhiKap B is not even close.
Yep. And PhiKap B is probably about 500-600 feet behind at this point. Kind of see it in the back, but not anticipating passes, pending any emergencies. And they do reach the stop sign at a time of about 52 seconds.
Pretty good, very competitive. I'd like to see us get some strong back heels out of them with these urethane wheels.
Fringe A passing the hay bale, coming up on the chute flag, taking the chute turn nice and smooth. Very nice chute turn. That's again textbook chute turn for Fringe. Now rolling to the potato chip. PhiKap just took the chute flag. Fringe rolling up. That tap and run technique by the pusher, so you can't really judge. He actually catches it in earnest just before the plug.
But still, with the push and run, I rarely have seen teams pick it up by about the eighth or ninth parking meters. So still, I mean, looks like a lot more momentum than a lot of other organizations, as they're even coming up on their Hill 4 to Hill 5 transition. And making that transition with a time on the clock of about 2:46, 2:47. So probably about two seconds behind the fastest time.
This could be a Fringe record right here.
Spirit, but we'll see whether or not they can finish it under 2:07. Looks like they're right on pace for about that, but we'll see.
Yeah, their record's 2:07. I don't think they're going to make it.
And yeah, they crossed the line at about 2:08 and a half.
Yeah, they might have got a 2:08-ish.
Yeah. But
still a nice time. And I think beat last year, right?
Yeah, and PhiKap looks like they have a pretty strong Hill 5. Again, organization's falling down a little bit, but still being cheered on by the crowds as they start to swell near the finish line. And it looks like he'll cross at around a time of 2:28.
Well, as the buggies head towards the second to last drop test of the day, the buggies are going to start lining up for the final heat of today's events.
So we have an unofficial time for SDC as a 2:05.47.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, that's very good. Spirit A is a 2:09.13. SDC B 2:10.37 ahead of PhiKap A to 2:10.42. Fifth place is Fringe B at 2:15.12. SDC C at a 2:17. KDR A 2:18. Signu A at 2:19. AE Pi A at 2:21. I would expect AE Pi to fall off, and Sigma Nu, even with the squirreliness, it looks like we'll make it to day 2.
So they're getting ready to do the drop test on Fringe. If Fringe's time, if we got it right, that would probably put them into second place with a time of the upper 2:08s. But we'll see. They're doing the drop test now. Looks like they did pass their drop test. So if their time comes up of about 2:08, it looks like AFIO is posting a time on their board of 2:08.2. So that should be the second fastest time of the day.
And from the chute, their radar gun showed just a slight edge to Fringe over the SDC roll, although that is, of course, just the peak speed here in the chute and not the overall free roll time. But in a very impressive roll with a just very clean chute turn for Fringe there.
And only about half second off their 18 best. So great job by Fringe today for a day 1.
And CMU TV has their time at 2:08.02. So great time by Fringe.
That is pretty good.
Almost got into the 2:07 mark, but still very solid for day 1.